How to turn nothing into something. And here's a little gist of what I've been covering. First, to turn nothing into something, you start with ideas and imagination. Now, it's hard to call ideas and imagination nothing. How tangible are ideas and imagination? It's a bit of a mystery. So you can't really call ideas that can be turned into a hotel, ideas that can be turned into an enterprise, ideas that can be turned into the Salk vaccine, ideas that can be turned into miracle products, ideas. You couldn't really call the idea nothing. It must have some kind of substance. And imagination can't really be nothing. We call it nothing because it isn't tangible. It isn't like a podium. It isn't that real. But it is almost real. So to turn nothing into something, you start with ideas and imagination. Interesting. Ideas that become so powerful in your mind and your consciousness, they seem real to you even before they become tangible. Imagination that is so strong that you can actually see it. When I built my first home for my family in Idaho all those years ago, before I started construction on this home, I used to take my friends and associates out to the vacant property and take them on a tour through the house. Is that possible? Is it possible to take someone on a tour through an imaginary house? And the answer is yes. I used to say, this is the 3-car garage, and the guy would look and say, yes, this garage will hold 3 cars. Right? I mean, I could really make it real, make it live. I would take them on a tour through the house. Here's the fireplace, and this fireplace is brick on one side and it's stone on the other side. I could make it real. Here's the rest of the house. Here's the kitchen with this view window. And they would look out the window as I took them on this tour. One day I made this house so real, one of my friends bumped his elbow on the fireplace. It was that real. So imagination, we call it nothing simply because nothing in terms of being tangible. But it is so real, it's almost real. So the first step is to imagine the possibilities. Imagine the possibilities. One of the reasons for seminars and sermons and the lyrics from songs and testimonials of others is to give us an idea of the possibilities. To imagine the possibilities. Now here's the second step of turning nothing into something. And that is to believe that what you imagine is possible for you. To believe that what you imagine is possible for you. And we become supported by testimonials that say something like, if I can do it, you can do it. And we start believing that. First, we imagine what's possible. Second, we start to believe that what's possible is possible for us. We might also believe because of our own testimonial. Here's what our testimonial might say. If I did it once, what? I could do it again. If it happened for me before, it could very well happen again. So we believe not only the testimonials of others who say, if I can do it, you can do it. If I can change, you can change. If I can start with nothing, you can start with nothing. If I can turn it all around, you can turn it all around. Then we also have the support of our own testimonial. If we've accomplished something before, if we did it once, we can do it again. If we did it last year, we could do it this year. So those two things are very powerful. Now, they're not actual substance, although they're very close. One is to imagine the possibilities. Two is to imagine that what's possible is possible for you. Here's what we call that second step, faith to believe. In fact, one writer said this, faith is substance. An interesting word, that the powerful ability to believe in the possibilities that are possible for you. If you have faith to believe, that faith is substance. Substance meaning a piece of the real. Now, it's not the real, it's not the podium, but it is so powerful that it's so close to being real. So the writer said the faith is a piece of, the substance of, and then he called it evidence, substance and evidence. So it's difficult to call substance and evidence nothing. It is nothing in the sense that it can't be seen except with the inner eye. You can't get a hold of it because it isn't yet tangible. But it is possible to turn nothing especially ideas and imagination. Now, if you believe that it's possible for you, that substance and evidence becomes so powerful that it now can be turned into reality. So the first step is to imagine what's possible. Second step, to believe that what's possible is possible for you. Now here's the third step, and that is to go to work and make it real. You go to work and make it a podium. You go to work and make it a hotel. You go to work and make it an enterprise. You go to work and make it good health. You go to work and make it an association. You go to work and make it a good marriage. You now go to work and make it a movement. You make it tangible. You make it viable. You breathe life into it. And then you construct it. That is such a powerful ability for all of us as human beings. I just wanted to take the time to drop that in before I move on to so many other subjects. How to turn nothing into something. Now here's the last part. It takes the disciplined activity to turn nothing into something finally. Faith without the activity serves no useful purpose. But faith invested into the activity creates reality. Once I understood that, I knew then it was possible to build a career. I knew it was possible to build good health. I knew it was possible to build a relationship. I knew I could participate in the constructing of valuable things, valuable enterprises, valuable things that would help and benefit other people. I knew I could be part of it, and I knew I could do it once I understood this formula. So here's the last part now. Appreciate now the disciplines that turns imagination into reality. Because without the disciplines, it doesn't work. The discipline is the last piece of the miracle process. The last piece of the miracle process is to do the work. To do the work of good health. To do the work of a relationship. To do the work of building this hotel.
Now, what I'd like to do is share with you some of the ways to develop your leadership skills for the coming year. I've got some key words for you to consider. Here's the first one. Appreciation. That's number one. First of all is to appreciate what you already have. Appreciation is unique. It has a sense of opening us up to even more if we appreciate, first of all, what we've already got. An appreciation of where we are at this moment in history. These are great moments in history as far as the world is concerned. It's incredible. Democracy is now flourishing. Free enterprise is now taking hold. Herbalife in these countries that I have a chance to visit, it's marvelous to watch it at work, where people catch on to taking a little and turning it into a lot, taking just what little bit they have at the moment and growing into the future. It's exciting. Democracy, freedom, free enterprise. To appreciate all of that, to appreciate our chance, to appreciate our opportunity, to appreciate all that it took to bring us to this point. That sense of appreciation makes us unique. It makes us attractive in the marketplace. You know, it's easy not to appreciate it. It's easy to sit down to have your breakfast and not think about how did the salt get on my table. A sense of appreciation. Just the salt that I so casually salt my eggs with in the morning. I'm telling you, if I thought about it for a while, I wonder where this salt came from. How many hands did it pass through by the time it reached my table? You know, who bent their back and mined it out of the salt mines? Who packaged it and who shipped it? And how many phases did it go through before it finally conveniently reached my table and I pick it up so casually and salt my eggs? That sense of awe and appreciation, there's nothing like it. It makes you attractive to have the appreciation of what's around you, the appreciation of the contribution of other people, to appreciate all that it takes for each of us to be successful. You cannot succeed by yourself. You know, you can't make your fortune all alone. It takes many, many hands, many voices, and many people to support one success story. So, appreciation. And I think my sense of appreciation has really been enhanced, especially the last part of this year, 97. For what's happened for me. I've had a new sense of appreciation for my parents who gave me my incredible start. I was an only child. They took extra time. It was unbelievable. I feel the effect of that now. As I've gone through all kinds of challenges as well as opportunities in my life, I still feel that anchor that holds me from the things they taught me, from the ideas they shared with me, the fact that they cared, the fact that they gave me that incredible foundation. It serves me today, and I appreciate that. That gives us a good taste to appreciate what we have. What it does, it opens up the channels. It makes us ready to receive even more. New ideas now can come flowing in if the person has appreciated what's already there, that's given them the support, made them as successful as they are at the moment. So appreciation. Second is comprehension. The ability to understand what we've got in our hands. That is so vitally important. Some people never recognize what they've got in their hands. And we know that by the evidence, because they do so little with it. If they knew what they had, if they knew the power of what has come their way, if they knew what they had in their hands, in their possession, it would change their whole life. It would, first of all, alter their attitude. Second, it would give them a vision of the future that they never had before. Just a sense, a recognition, a comprehension, an understanding. And all of us have the ability to do that, to understand and comprehend what we've got. I would ask you to reevaluate what you've got in your hands. Just think about all of the parts of this opportunity, the people, the product, the opportunity, all of the list of things that you've got now in your hands to use as the ways and means to transform your life and build your future. You know, a lot of people have dreams, but they dare not dream too much because they don't have the ways and they don't have the means. They don't have the opportunity. They don't have the tools at their disposal. They don't have the influence. They don't have the training. They don't have the teaching. They don't go to classes like we do. They don't have the benefit of other people's experience like we have. When we look at all of that, we ought to really try our best to comprehend what all we've got. Because if we truly see what we've got in our hands, we'll probably multiply what we can do with it in the future by 2, by 3, by 5, by 10. So that's a key word for developing leadership, comprehension. Here's the next word, opportunity. You've got to be able to see opportunity. Opportunity all around you, opportunity of where you are, opportunity of the people who can use the products that you've got, who can use your opportunity in terms of marketing. Seeing the opportunity. If we're blind to the opportunity, it doesn't matter how valuable the products are, and it doesn't matter how valuable the system is. If you can't see the opportunity, it all gathers dust. It all goes to waste. You've got to see opportunity in every person you meet. That could be another person. That could be another Mark Hughes. That could be another future president's team member. Learn to see the opportunity that's right around you. It's easy to get busy and sort of blinded and just walk along and not see what's possible and what's available. The reason I'm here today is because I saw the opportunity. An opportunity to expand my vision, an opportunity to refine my skills, an opportunity to meet people I'd never met before, an opportunity to go places I'd never gone before, an opportunity to become valuable to an institution, an opportunity to enhance my own powers of development so that I could serve other people. I recognize this opportunity. It's why I'm here today. It's why I'm talking to you today. If I hadn't have seen the opportunity, I'd have passed, been doing something else probably mediocre. But here I am in a very splendid position, an unusual position, having an opportunity to use my experience and influence and skills to touch the lives in the future of millions of people. I saw the opportunity. I took advantage of it. And I want you to be able to do that too, be able to see the opportunity. Now here's what's next, and that is integrity. As you compose your life with what you've got, the products, the people, the organization, Herbalife, support system, Mark Hughes, here's what you've got to maintain, and that is your integrity. Integrity means those inner qualities that you do not compromise. The inner qualities that keeps you steady when sometimes everything around you is falling apart. The integrity that helps you to maintain character, all of those qualities that give you a chance to be better than you are at the moment on into the future. Integrity within yourself, integrity within the way that you do business, integrity within the way that you operate and conduct the business of the day. That's vitally important in the development of leadership. Next is morality. There's a right way and a wrong way. There's the way to do it right, the way to do it wrong. Civilization is simply a matter of suppressing that dark side of our nature and appealing to the bright, positive side of our nature. And that becomes sort of a moral code, not to yield to the temptation of doing ill to someone else, but rather appealing to the high side of our nature. President Lincoln, who was one of the presidents of America, said, hopefully we will listen to the better angels of our nature, that appeals to the high side, that says, sure enough, there is something to be said for morality, the right and the wrong. But let us constantly work toward developing ourselves on the moral side of doing what's right. And one of the best teachers of the morality is your own conscience. That little small voice inside that tells you you've crossed the line, that tells you this wouldn't be the right, they'll help you grow. If you develop them under you, they will lift you up. You can lift up sales and it'll fall back down. You can lift up volume and it'll fall back down. Lift up the people. Mark has made some incredible, awesome decisions the last few years, and they've turned out to be constructive and powerful, and they're going to be in the future. Now here's the last one though, learn to trust yourself. You've got to trust that you'll be able to see. You've got to trust that you'll be able to believe. You've got to trust that you will be able to comprehend the opportunity. You've got to trust yourself, trust your own instinct, trust your own ability to dream dreams that you've never dreamed before. Have trust in yourself that you can lead your family. Trust your own instincts to see maybe the dangers that are out there. Sharpen up your instincts to be able to see the dangers, the things that do not wish you well for your family, for your organization, for your customers. Have a sense of that. You can develop it. It's powerful. And then here's the next one. Trust your own faith. Faith to believe in the future. Faith to believe in yourself. Faith that you can make dreams come true for yourself and for the people around you. Trust. Faith. Here's the next one. Vision. Without vision, the old prophet said, we perish. There is no future. There is no hope. There is no better world without vision. But it's possible to see things that don't yet exist. It's possible to see an organization that hasn't yet been put together. And I want you and I to sharpen up our ability to have that kind of faith in the future, that kind of look, that kind of vision. It's unbelievable what you can acquire and what you can accomplish if you'll have that kind of vision. Here's what faith can really do. One, see it as it is. You got to accept reality. Here's how it is. But here's what faith can also do. See it better than it is. See your life better than it is. See your situation better than it is. Maybe for some of you, things have closed in, not so light in your corner. Difficult times, tough times. So be it. I'm asking you to be able to look at that situation clearly and say, yes, I'm in a tough situation. But you don't have to let that be the end of the story. The story is you can see beyond the situation. You can have a vision beyond what is apparent. The ability to see things that don't yet exist, to see yourself better than you are. To help our children, we must do that. See them as they are and see them better than they are. Then here's the third step of faith. Go make it better. Nothing is ever done of value unless somebody takes action. The cities are not built. The hospitals don't exist. The organization never takes form. The fortune is missing unless somebody puts the muscle to the faith and says, I will make it happen. And that's possible for all of us to make it happen. I want that to happen for you. Now we call that what? A miracle. Only because we don't quite understand how it works. It doesn't mean it doesn't work. It simply means we don't quite understand how it works. But here's how you get a miracle going for your life. Number one, do what you can. Get a list of the stuff you could do and you haven't done, postponed, and start cleaning that up. You can't start at a better place for personal change. That'll affect your bank account, affect your future, affect your income, affect everything. You can't start a better life change process than cleaning up what you should be doing. The man says, well, my mother lives down in Florida. Should have written her 6 months ago. I just can't seem to get that letter written. I'm asking you to get that letter written, clean that up, and don't walk like other people walk. Don't postpone like other people postpone. You say, well, is it as simple as writing a letter? And the answer, yes. Where else would you start for life change, personal change? You don't need a pink package to fall out of the sky. You don't need massive bombard pre-conscious, subconscious. Practice channeling, find a 2,000-year-old guru. I mean, you don't need any of that stuff. Pass on all that. Kids are afraid of that stuff. This stuff's too easy. This stuff's too simple. It's called take action, number 1, on neglect, on errors, in discipline. Number 2, start setting up some discipline. And if you'll do that, you'll perform a miracle. Now, here's the second part of the miracle. Number 1 is do what you can. Here's number 2, do the best you can. If that's not your philosophy, I would ask you to amend it. Let me give you the best of ancient script. Here's what it said. Whatever your hands find to do, do it with all your might, do it with all your strength, and do it with all your power. What a good philosophy. That kind of philosophy will revolutionize your life if you haven't picked it up lately. Guy slips in late, company doesn't seem to mind, slips out early, first one in the parking lot, heading for happy hour. Stretches his break, comes early for lunch, late back from lunch, company doesn't seem to notice. Guy said, best as I can calculate, I'm putting in about a half a day's work and I'm collecting a full day's pay. And the guy says, I got it made. Little does he know the seeds of his own disaster are already being sown by the weakness of his own personal philosophy. It's not the economy that's going to determine your next 6 years. It's your philosophy about labor and about activity and about miracle and soil and seed and sunshine and rain and the economy and the banks and the money and the companies and the schools and what's going on. It's your philosophy, your attitude, and then your ability to take action. All of that we call the process of life change, miracle working. Number 1, do what you can. Number 2, do the best you can. Here was number 4, results. Results. Every once in a while, you got to take a measure, see how you're doing with these 3 pieces, philosophy, attitude, activity. Now we take a measure called result. What is the results at the end of the day, the results at the end of the week? You can't let too much time go by without checking. When time goes by, 6 years I'd been out there working when I met my teacher, Mr. Shope. Shope said, well, Mr. Rohn, let's just go through a little summary here. In the last 6 years, how much money have you saved and invested? Let's go through a little tab list here. How much money have you saved and invested the last 6 years? I said, what? 0. He said, you have messed up. He said, who sold you on that plan? I thought, my gosh, the man's right. I'm a nice guy. I bought the wrong plan. What if you were 50 and broke? Right? Didn't need to change country. Bought the wrong plan. What a sad scenario that would be. Shope said these questions. Let's go through some results. He said, how many books have you read in the last 90 days? I said, what? 0. Wisdom of the world available? Change your life, change your future? Wisdom of the world available? Develop any skill you want, earn the kind of income you want, have all the treasures you want, equities you want, relationship with your family that you want, everything that you want available, and the wisdom of the world to help you get it. Haven't read any books in the last 90 days. My teacher said, Mr. Rohn, you have messed up. I'm telling you, you've got the deal. Shope said, Mr. Rohn, in the last 6 months, how many classes have you taken to improve your skill or to develop new skill? Go for the American dream. Become rich and powerful and sophisticated and healthy and influential. How many classes have you taken in the last 6 months? I said, how many? 0. He said, you have messed up. He said, you don't need to unmess the country. You don't need to straighten out the perplexed. You don't need to straighten out any of this stuff. All you've got to do is look within and let results teach you a great deal about your own activity, your own attitude, and your own philosophy. I went through that process. Take this phrase home. Results is the name of the game. What other game is there? Results. Here's all life asks us to do. Make measurable progress in reasonable time. Just take home that little phrase. Good phrase. We're asked in life simply to make measurable progress in reasonable time. We demand it of our children. How many years do you want your child to spend in 4th grade? Approximately. About 1. If it looks like they're not going to make it, we pour on the pressure, called legitimate pressure. Lack of result. Peer pressure, family pressure, school pressure, community pressure. Every other kind of pressure we can bring to bear. Why? You can't stay more than 1 year in 4th grade. As parents, you'd have to leave the community. You say, well, what if they're nice kids? Wouldn't you give them 3 or 4 years? The answer is no. You got to make better progress than that. So you got to check fairly often. Some things you got to check every day. Some things you got to check at least by the end of the week. Salesman joins this little sales company. He's supposed to make 10 calls first week. Wouldn't it be legitimate? Call him in on Friday and say, John, what? How many calls? I mean, this stuff is simple. John says, well. Say, John, well won't fit in this little box here. Now John starts with a story. You say, John, I made this little box so small so a story won't fit. I don't need a story. I need what? A number. A number. What will a number tell me? Everything. John's supposed to make 10 calls. What if he made 20? You say, wow. Wow. We got somebody. What if he only made 1 call? Will that tell us something about John's philosophy? And the answer is yes. Will it tell us something about his attitude? Of course. Will it tell us something about his disciplines? Of course. And if he wants a lesson in life change, all he has to do is be willing to face the numbers and come up with the results that will teach you to either celebrate if you got good results or fix whatever needs to be fixed in your philosophy, attitude, activity called discipline. You don't need to go anywhere else. I do believe in affirmations. They are valuable as long as you affirm the truth. Because it says in ancient scripts, the truth, what? Will set you free. Free to do what? Amend your errors and pick up new disciplines. That's what the truth is for. To help us amend our errors and pick up the disciplines for life change. That's what the truth is for. So I do believe in affirming the truth. If you're broke, the best thing to affirm is, I am broke. You put that up on the refrigerator where you can see it every day. Now, if you need a little additional affirmation, you just put up there, I'm 40 and broke. And if you need just a little more, put up there, I live in America and I'm 40 and broke. That's enough to turn your life around. It says, hey, something is wrong. Somewhere I have messed up. And I'm telling you, if you'll start with that, it's called the process of life change, and it doesn't matter how small the process is to start. One discipline starts it, and then one discipline feeds another, and the first thing you know, you've got this whole cycle in an upward positive motion. And it's called life change. It's called income change. It's called health change. Relationship with your family change. Equities unprecedented that you can have in numbers that will stagger the imagination if you do not curse what's available and start amending what's possible to get the results that you want. I don't think I can put it in any better language. That's it. Kids can do it. Teenagers can do it. Parents can do it. Managers can do it. Right? Government officials can do it. Anybody can do it. Anybody can do this stuff called personal change.